It's Haley. I'm here with my hot cup of water and my pup there. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the doshas. So I've mentioned them a lot in my articles and my blogs, and I didn't really take a lot of time going through what they are and why they're so important to Ayurveda. So the doshas are the elements, essentially, and the elemental makeup of our bodies. But beyond humans, everything, every food, every plant, every animal has a unique constitution, which is like order of the elements. So, for myself personally, I'm Pitta Kapha. So I have fire, and then my elemental makeup has water second, earth, air, and space. There are other Pitta Kaphas who have fire, and then earth, and then water, and then air and space. And this basically tells me how to balance. Once I understand what that means, Pitta Kapha, then I know a little bit more about how I'm going to react to every season, every food, every activity. And then I can pick and choose what is going to feel good for me, which is really the exciting part. Ayurveda isn't restrictive, isn't like black and white, cut and dry. It's just information and knowledge of the self so that you can go into the world and decide how you want to be interacting with everything, what's going to be balancing, what you can, do, and know that later in that day you'll do something else to balance again. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So Pitta is fire energy. It has to do with transformation in the body. It has to do with our motivation, our like ways of being particular and exact. Um, every element, every dosha has a like different organs associated with it. So for Pitta, um, a few of them are the eyes, the skin, the hormones. And so if you're having any type of concerns with those, Pitta would be something I would look at. And then depending on what the concern is, it might be one of the other elements. Um, so yeah, that's Pitta. Let's do Vata. So Vata is air and space element. It's has to do with movement in the body. It's very creative. It's very like erratic. It's very just non-consistent. And Vata can be really fun, especially for my fellow artist types to get into. It's that like 2 a.m., 4 a.m. spurt of creativity and energy, and you just go, 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 and you don't know what's happening. And it's exciting. But Vata also can produce ailments like anxiety and depression. Um, it like looks like dry skin, brittle hair, brittle nails, brittle bones. Some of the organs associated with Vata are like reproductive system. Let me think. It's movement like upward and downward. So going to the bathroom, but also coughing. Um, the throat would be a Vata area that I would look at. Um, but often Vata manifests itself in things like osteoporosis, or mostly, from what I've seen, um, neurological issues. So things that have to do with the nerves, with like mental health, things of that sort. Sorry, artist types, it's just in the cards. um, cool. And so Kapha would be the last one. So this is our earth element, very grounding, very nurturing, very slow, compassionate. Kapha is earth element, right? And so what it looks like in the body is like blockages, or like low motivation, low energy. It can look like a head cold or cough or stuffy nose, slow digestion. Um, and kapha has to do with particular organs as well. It's the they call it Sleshak kapha, but it's like the synovial fluid in the joints. It has to do with like cushioning and protecting. So like all of the cavities of our internal organs are protected by layers, and those would be kapha. Um, it also, looks like the space around the intestines or, um, yeah, there's a lot. There's so much. Um, and so the magic of Ayurveda for me is that I can look at what ailments you're experiencing and kind of like draw lines and trace them to the doshas. And then I can look at the ailments that your parents have experienced and your grandparents have experienced and continue to connect those dots to figure out what your unique constitution is and what might be out of balance. So I'm Pitta Kapha, but I often experience Vata imbalances because of the nature of my schedule and because of my artistic practice. And so that's something I always like am looking for and trying to balance. Um, yeah, and so it's really vast, but it's really exciting that like these seemingly like very different and disparate ailments actually all can connect into a dosha, and then you can just learn about that dosha and balance through that, and then all of the ailments that are like all over the body start to slowly dissipate and clear up. Um, and that's what's really cool. A lot of times we're going to like 3 different specialists, we're experiencing all these things, and there's not really a great clear picture to bring them together. And that's what Ayurveda can do, and that's what my clients have experienced and have been like, oh my god, this is so helpful. It makes so much more sense to just like all of my ailments are associated with Vata or Pitta, or sometimes it's 2, but I can explain it that way. And yeah, so I hope this was helpful. Feel free to drop in the comments with any questions that you have, or to just DM me and be like, I'm experiencing these things. What dosha might that be a part of? There's so much information online about Ayurveda that's really like a broad brushstroke. And it can be helpful and it can be not helpful. So I highly recommend doing your initial consultation, going through the steps if you're really interested in knowing like how to balance for you in particular, because the information can be overwhelming and it can be inaccurate if you have like maybe 2 imbalances and you're working through one of them but the other ailments aren't going away yet. Just talk to me. I'm available, I'm open, I'm just sitting on my patio. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you think. All right, have a great Thursday.